Very quickly, let me explain to you. Okay, so topic for today is video. Okay, and other topic is Stratus. Okay, so these two things we are going to discuss today, right? So what this topic gonna do for you, what this concept's gonna do for you. Okay, so nowadays, guys, whenever you launch any operating system, okay, you need hard disk, obviously. But mostly nowadays we launch the operating system as a guest machine or the virtual machines. It means underline this OS you have some program, some tool, okay, based on the concept called virtualization. Okay, one of the program who will give virtualization to you is Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, and inside and behind the virtualization tool you have your hardware. Okay, real hardware. I can say physical RAM, physical CPU, real physical hard disk you have. Or maybe sometime we have some operating system also in between. So right now, if you guys talk about my current concept or my current setup, so I have my base laptop with me. Okay, on the top of laptop I have Windows operating system. Okay, and on the top of Windows operating system I have virtualization tool that's called Oracle VirtualBox that we keep on using till date. Okay, and on the top of VirtualBox we have installed some of the operating system that is called virtual machine. Okay, one of the example is, in my case, is Red Hat Machine 8. Okay, and this operating system is a virtual machine. It look like real, work like real, but whatever the hardware they have, okay, technically they are sharing the hardware from your base OS or from base physical RAM. So there's a real RAM, real CPU, real hard disk, and this OS is sharing those resources. Okay, it means whatever hard disk you provide to this guy. So if I log into my Red Hat 8 virtual machine, and if I log in over here, and if you run the command every time this command, it will show you the hard disk that we have. Let me run with less command to see the output from the first line. So this is the one of the hard disks I have, HDE with 100 GB in size. So it look like real hard disk, a real person we have, real data we are storing. But internally, this 100 GB hard disk, 100 GB hard disk is actually, so let me give the name here. So in my case, I have the hard disk called Dave HDE of 100 GB in size. But this hard disk, okay, is actually internally they are getting from your real hard disk. So in my Windows, I have a real hard disk of maybe 500 GB. So out of 500 GB, 100 GB I have provided to my virtual machine. Now, how you provide this 100 GB to a virtual machine, that would be your choice. Either you can provide this hard disk as a static or dynamic. Means you go to your base system called Windows and say, out of 500 GB, 100 GB I want to reserved, or you can think the word called static. So this 100 GB only belongs to me. If I put my data, if I don't put my data, none other virtual machines or you as a Windows also would able to use it. It is reserved for me. So here I'm just giving the word called static. Okay, but if you give 100 GB hard disk to the OS and you tell the Windows, I'm taking 100 GB hard disk, but it's dynamic. It's not reserved. Okay, so you can think to this virtual machine, I am giving maximum 100 GB size. As much as they keep on data, I will dynamically increase the size behind the scene. Okay, I'll keep on picking the space from the physical hardware dynamically. The maximum size would be 100 GB. But if this OS is not using this 100 GB, and other virtual machine or you as a Windows want to use this, they can use. Okay, so it's the dynamic in nature. Okay, so technically in this storage world, Static is known as thick and dynamic is known as thin. And this is known as provisioning. Okay, so mostly guys in the virtualization world, mostly we pick the hardest in the thin provisioning way. Even though guys, if you, I don't know, have you noticed or not, while installing any OS in virtual machine, let me show you what happened. While installing is coming up, right? So while installing any OS in the let me use some name, Red Hat 8 something. Okay, so if you click next, if you click next, okay, and if you click create, if you click next, now here this is the, this option always come. So you want to create dynamic allocation or fixed. Dynamic means thin provisioning or thick provisioning. So if I say dynamic allocation, so here I am saying 100 GB I want to provide to my this OS, but technically it gives you an illusion to your operating system or virtual machine that I'm going to install right now that they have 100 GB hard disk, but internally, physically, they won't consume 100 GB. They won't reserve 100 GB. Okay, they won't reserve 100 GB. So as you start putting the data in this OS, dynamically they keep on picking from raw base real physical hard disk. So this was the meaning of thin provisioning or the dynamic allocation over here. Okay, so this is a very basic concept. You guys might know this. Just want to give you this concept because if you have a requirement, if you have a requirement that inside your Red Hat, especially Red Hat version 8, I am talking about, okay, and you want to create any drive that is also known as the mount point, you guys know. Okay, and guys, on the top of drive we always mount a device that is called partition, and partition is sometimes also known as device, and it is also known as sometimes file system. Okay, what you need some kind of base hard disk. Okay, so what I'm talking about, okay, what I'm talking about in the Red Hat 8, if you want to create any partition that you want to mount on some device, but you want this partition have a dynamic allocation that is called thin provisioning, you can do this. So we can create a drive, a partition of, let's say, 200 GB, but we are not actually reserving 200 GB from our hard disk. We're just providing this. Okay, and as the data grow, they will keep on picking from the real physical hard disk. Something like this. Okay, and what use case of this? Maybe you have a real hard disk of, let's say, 100 GB, and out of 100 GB, you want to create multiple partition of it, and everybody is 50 GB. This is 50 GB, 50, 50, 50. Even though we are allocating 200 GB in size, but real size is 100 GB only. Okay, so what do you have? You provide more, right? You provide more. Just think in the mind that nobody gonna use full, but everybody might have a minimum requirement. They say, if you don't provide 50 GB, I won't able to work. Sometimes if you guys ever install Windows, so in the Windows, if we don't create 30 GB partition, you won't able to install it. Just for example, even though we're not gonna consume 30 GB completely, but there's a minimum requirement. But we don't have 30 GB available, so we can take the help of dynamic provisioning or thin provisioning, same thing, and say, yes, I will provide 30 GB to you. Internally, we don't provide, but just we give the illusion that you have. And other also use cases we have, very lot of use case we have on this concept. But if you want to create a drive that it look like they have so much space, but internally, physically, they don't have. Yeah, obviously, when we start storing data, then will they start getting the real space dynamically, but till date they won't get. But they will only have an illusion that they have. Okay, so if you want to do this, there's a lot of we can do, but one of the tool and software available is called Stratus. By this tool or by this software, we can create a partition or the file system that will work in a thin provisioning way. Okay, so let me directly jump to this practical and show you how you can take the help of Stratus. Okay, so so let's go and check. So for doing this demo, what I'm going to do, I'm showing this demo on my Reddit 8. And for showing this demo, I'll go and attach one extra hard disk. Okay, some extra hard disk to this OS, to my virtual machine. This hard disk I'm talking about, they look like real hard disk to this OS. Okay, so I'm going to add one hard disk. And if you want to add any hard disk to the OS, you guys know from my partition classes, let me power off first my Red Hat. Okay, then in the virtual box, if you go to settings and in storage part, I already have a lot of hard disks connected. Okay, for that purpose maybe, but let me add one more hard disk over here. There's option to add new hard disk. Create a new hard disk. Click next. Okay, next, and I'm going to add a hard disk of, let's say, of size 100 GB. Some name, let's say 101. So this hard disk, what happened? They are not allowing me to create. Why? Because this is 100 GB in size. This guy is not allowing me to correct. 100 GB. So this is the notation you have to write, and let's say just giving some unique name. So let's say this is your one hard disk you attach to show this demo. So this is my Reddit 8. I attach this hard disk 100 GB in size. For this OS, I think this is the real hard disk, physical hard disk. Okay, just think in this way. And I'm going to attach one more hard disk, guys, here, because there's one more topic I'm going to take today called VDO. There's also require one hard disk to attach. Okay, to so save our time, I'm going to attach one more hard disk here. Create a new device. Click next, and again this is 100 GB in size. Let's say some name I'm giving. Okay, and let me start my OS. So this OS we have some two hard disks. This OS think there's a real hard disk, so let's this guys think that they have the real hard disk. So now think there's a real hard disk. So on the top of this hard disk, okay, so I'm going to use this hard disk for implementing Stratus. Stratus. This hard disk I'm going to use to next topic for today is called video. Okay, so what is the use of Stratus? I explained to you. If you want to create a file system, that is have a capability, have a dynamic provisioning, then Stratus you can use. Okay, so let me do this. Multiple commands I am going to run. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating one extra node for you. A node for you. And plus I'm logging to my OS with PuTTY. So I can very easily copy paste in my Windows. Remote login I'm doing. I believe the name of my OS. Where is the PuTTY? Come on. Okay, so I think my IP of my OS is maybe 101. Let me check. Yeah, so the same OS. Okay, let me increase the fonts. Color also. Okay, so the same OS, this is Reddit 8. So rather than I'm logging from here, I just log in from PuTTY. And if you see, guys, I added some extra hard disk. Okay, so one of the hard disks they might have added is maybe which one? This one, HDF, 100 GB in size. So there we guys, I think I by chance add 1000 GB size. That's okay. Okay, so one of the hard disks where we will work today is Dave HDF. So this is the hard disk I'm going to use. Okay, so think this is a real hard disk. Okay, so let me sharing the commands also. Guys, this is very basic command. In my Python classes, we have done these commands and these things a lot. Those who don't know about Python will share the videos to you. Okay, where we cover about partisans and other things in very much basics till very advanced. Okay, so let's say the hard disk name is where we will work is SDF. And from this hard disk, I'm going to create a partition or the file system, but this partition file system would be dynamic. How we're going to do? So here we will go and take the help of Stratus, and for this you have to install a software called Stratus. I think software name is Stratus D. Okay, so I'm using this command to install the software. Let's see if my yum is there. Okay, and one more software I need. Let me install this one, or maybe no. One more software I need that will give some extra command. Let's call it Stratus CLI. So two software we need. I'm just sharing the commands to you. So my local yum is not working. It's not working. So 1 minute, guys. Let me check my yum very quickly. It is not mounted. Actually, when you attach your DVD, so if you log in to your account in the graphical, they automatically mount for you. So my DVD is actually mounted in some folder. So if we log in the graphical, they auto mount, and my yum is configured over there. So what is yum? All the things you guys know. So nothing very technical here. So I just need, obviously, I'm good. I would like to install the software. So I need, yeah. I see the automatic the mount. It was not there. So my DVD has been mounted. So let me install this software. And Stratus, guys, behind the scene is one kind of program. So to start the service of this, okay. So starting service, we can use start command on Stratus D. If you want to make it permanent, you can use enable command to make these guys permanent. So finally service started, there's no fail and everything is working great. Obviously, maybe it's good practice to check the service is running or not. So we can take the help of systemctl status. So my service is running great. Okay, and this is service to manage your block device. Means your hard disk. Block device means your hard disk. Okay, to create a flexible file system. That's what we are going to do. Okay, so how we can do? So for this, okay, in the Stratus we have a concept. If you want to create a partition or the file system, you require to take the space from somewhere. So technically, guys, they don't take the space directly from the real hard disk. What we do, we provide all our real spaces to this box, and from this box they are going to pick the space. And this box, guys, is known as pool. It is something like this. You guys know about LVM. So this hard disk you can think as a physical volume. This is thing is a volume group, and this is known as logical volume. Okay, just think in this way. So this term is not we use here, but you can think in this way. So if you want to create a partition, that is the dynamic partition. So they take the space from the pool. Okay, and pool will get the space from the real hard disk. So I don't have a pool right now. How I know? So if I run the status command and I say pool list, I don't have any. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a pool. You can give a pool a name, let's say my pool. And from which hard disk you want to take the space. So hard disk that I would like to use, or my real hard disk is this one. That's all. Now you can see pool has been created. Okay, and because this hard disk size 100 GB, so 100 GB size we can take physically. Okay, so that has been created. Okay, now the pool has been created. Now from this pool, we can create a real physical hard disk. Okay, so how we can create? So pretty simple. We can say strategies. Even though you can guys go for help. So if you want to create a pool that we created, now we want to create a file system. Yes. So here we can say I want to create a file system, means a partition. Okay, create. You can give your own partition name. Okay, so let's say my partition one. Okay, and you want to create a partition from which pool? So my pool name is this one. That's all. So now your partition has been created. Okay, so before I create any partition, let me show you one thing. First, let me copy this command. I'm not running this command right now. Okay, so if I run the file system, list how many partition we have? None. But as soon as I create, you can see new partition gonna come. Okay, so as soon as you click, you will see one new partitions gonna come up. Okay, so if you see guys, there's new partition they have created. Okay, with this particular name. Okay, so this guys, this is a way you can create a partition over here. Okay, and now because this is a partition and you want to use the partition, obviously you have to mount it. And guys, here normally partition guys, after you create a partition, you have to format. You don't have to format here. Strategy will auto format for you. You just mount it, and for mounting, just create a folder. Let's say my as part some name I'm giving, and I'm mounting this guy. So this is my device name. Actually, they created behind the scene with the mount point. That's all. So nothing technical, and they mount it. So you can see here, if you notice guys here, they give this person of 1 terabyte in size. Even though I don't have physical, I don't have physical 1 terabyte hard disk, but they give you an illusion that they will provide 1 terabyte hard disk to you. Okay, so this is all virtual. But as you start providing, putting data, they keep on putting dynamic, they keep on picking the space. Obviously, the physical space fill, they stop there. But maybe some of the use cases we require to show you a lot of space we have. But here they don't give internally, but they give you illusion that yes, we have. Okay, so this is how you can, and after you put the mounted, you make it permanent in the FS tab. You guys know how we put in the FS tab. You can put the data, whatever you want to do, that would be your choice. Okay, so this is how the strategies work. And if you want to do some more thing in the strategies, okay, so example, maybe if you talk about file system, okay, so in the file system, if you see the help, so we can also destroy it, rename it, create a snapshot. Snapshot we can think is like a copy or backup, something like this, or point in time backup, if you know. Okay, so we can do further things also. We see how to create a file system list. We can also destroy and create a backup copy of this. So whatever data you put in this partition, we can create a backup of it. Okay, so those things also we can do. So pretty straightforward topic, but very useful. I explained to you. Now something like this, we are going to explain one more topic. Now what can we do? Let's say we have one more hard disk. Okay, and from this hard disk I am going to create a partition that I mount in some drive or mount point. And what I want, as I start putting my data in this drive, automatic my data go obviously to my real hard disk. But I want, as soon as they go to real hard disk, my data automatic optimized. Or I can say they will start storing in the compressed form. Compressed format. Okay, so normally guys, there's a lot of software come in the market, where if you put the data on the hard disk, you have to compress it manually, you have to properly optimize it, create a data structure, or depend guys what further you want to do. But there's one tool where we can do a disk optimizer automatically. Okay, there's the role of VDO. So we search about Red Hat VDO. So it is a tool to optimize your data. Okay, compression and something like this, they going to do virtual data. I'm so sorry guys, not disk. It's virtual data optimizer. Okay, so how we can do for this? We need one extra hard disk that I already attached. So hard disk that I'm going to use right now is VDSDG. This hard disk I would like to use. So again, video come with the software. So let me use yum install to install video software. Why? Means they don't ask yes or no. They like install for us. Okay, as the command that I write here, just take a photo, click a photo of this commands. I'm not sharing any document right now. Okay, take a screenshot of this command so you can practice strategies. Okay, so video software has been installed. Okay, now if you see how many video hard disks we have right now, none, because we haven't created yet. So now we can tell the video I want to create new hard disk. So here they ask, okay, can you tell me which what is the name of the hard disk, or maybe you can use the full name, have a name keyword, means as a field name. So let's say my name is my video one. Okay, what is your real device name from where you want to pick the hard disk? So I would like to use the hard disk name, this one, what I have as a real hard disk. So this hard disk I would like to use. Okay, and this hard disk may be size of 100 GB or 1000 GB. So you want to create a new partition. So what is the size of this partition? This is called logical size. So they have option called video logical size. In megabyte you have to give, right? So let me give 10 GB. Okay, so if I hit enter, they are creating a new compression device, and this is your real device name. And even though also you can search, this is the device they have created for you. Okay, now this device is created. We can think new device come up. Okay, new device come up. And so guys, technically, even though there's one more thing you can do, there's option called video status. Okay, here they give you entire summary and they say you have one device with this name. When you modify created, okay, this device is activated right now. But if you search, okay, does this device has any compression? Yes, so compression is enabled. Okay, so a lot of other things also they are doing for you. Okay, but compression, what I was talking about, they have. Okay, and because this is a new hard disk they created, so we have to always format it. So name of my hard disk that they created is this one. Okay, so if you want to use any hard disk, you have to format it. So let me format with XFS, the way you normally format other parts also. So they formatted this hard disk, and now after the hard disk formatted, you mount it the way you normally mount and put in the FS tab to make it permanent. So they're formatting it, and and after this, I can mount, let's say, my VDO. So I'm mounting this particular device on the top of this. So this is also because we have created 10 GB size, so 10 GB person has been created. But interesting thing is, whatever data you put in this particular drive, automatically will compress for you. And to verify this, there's a command that's called video stats. Okay, so this command will tell you what how much the size using, say, saving. Okay, right now we don't have any data, or maybe you can put in a human readable format. So my base hard disk is 1000 GB size. Okay, 98%. Right now there is no data, but if you start putting data, they show you how much space they are saving for you by obviously by doing compressions. Okay, so there's two different concepts, guys: video status, status. So depend what you want to do, you can use accordingly the particular tools and the technology. Okay, so this is one of the topic, guys. Anybody who is going for RSCSA examination, okay, that's I highly recommend. Okay, so either one question they ask you about video or maybe come studies, so you have to practice both. Okay, so maybe in your exam is either video question gonna come up or status question, any one of the questions gonna come up. So for the exam perspective, practice both. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, let me take one more last topic for RSCSA. I think this is left. I think Crontab. So I think in the last class, a lot of guys confused with Crony. Crony is NTP service. That is a different topic altogether. But if you want to go for Crontab, how we can work on it. So let me explain to you. Okay, so it is something like this. If you have some program or a command, same thing, command. And if you want some command will automatically run for you. Okay, maybe let's say backup commands you have, and you want every day at 11:30 night automatic this data to backup. Or every at this point in time, I will send a mail and a report to my admin or to manager. Okay, so any program or any command you want to schedule it for some particular time. It is something like your calendar, alarm and something like this. Okay, so this command program also sometimes known as job. This is called job scheduling. So Linux guys come with a program called Crontab, and using this Crontab we can schedule our job or schedule our program. Okay, so anybody who know by chance Jenkins is a big tool that they do lots more thing for you. Crontab is only for running some commands at some particular point in time. Okay, for example, if I show you in right now, I don't have this particular folder created. Let's say my Vimal. This folder is not available in my computer, but I want, this is my current time. I want 8/7. Okay, when did this time come up? 10th July 2021 morning 8 7th minute. When this time come up, automatic this folder created. How we can so for this we can take the help of Crontab with E, means we are going to edit some job for us. Okay. And here guys, we can give time. How? They follow some syntax. First you have to give the minute, then you have to give hour, at which hour you want to run it, the day of the month, then month, or then the, sorry, it's not day, I can say date of the month, and then the day of the week. Then your command name, or your program name, and this program is sometimes also known as job name. So let's say I want to run my job, okay, or my command name is called mkdir with the folder called myvimal. So this command I want to run when the date is, so let me check in my computer right now. According to my computer, okay, I want to run on 10th of July. So date is 10th. July means, here you write in 1 2 3 4. July means 7th month. What is the day? Saturday. Or maybe you can say I don't know the date, I can say start, whatever the day of the week would be, just match with anything. And at what hour? Morning at 8 o'clock. A minute, let's say I want to run at 8 minutes. Okay, that's all. So this is syntax guys, you have to follow. So let me save this syntax for you. Okay, let me do it. So now this is the one new job has been created. We can list the job. This is one job we have created. Okay, and right now again I'll show you. This folder is not yet created, but as soon as this time match, okay, 10th of July, morning 8 minute, okay, automatically this folder or whatever the job you run, it will be done for you. So exactly 8 minute, you can see this folder will be created. So you will wait for some second and you see, now it is your choice. You want to run any command or program, a script, just put your command script over here. They will run for you. So now guys is 8 minute done. And now if you see, this folder was not there, but it's created. Okay. So guys, this is about cron tab. Some more syntax they support. For example, if you want to edit the cron tab again, if you edit, so if you want to run a job at every hour, so you can write start here, or every hour 5 minutes, for example. So this start means 1 hour 5 minutes, 2 hour 5 minutes, 3 hour 5 minutes. So every hour they're going to run. We're going to run the job every minute. Can I stop? So it means minimum is every minute. So every minute they are going to run this job. Obviously, there's no meaning to create a folder every minute, but maybe backup of mail, something you want to run every minute that you can run. Or maybe if you're running your job every 5 minutes. So these are syntax. And some more syntax like this, just go and check the document. Online cron is very commonly used program. Okay. So some more syntax you will get. So after every minute, every 5 minutes, okay, you will run your particular program. So directory or maybe backup or something like this. You can. Okay, you can create as much as job. You can add one more line, one more job come up, and you want to delete the job, just go and delete the line and save the file. So now there is no job left. Okay, so that's the thing we can do. Maximum job we can then always say for year. Okay, so now this particular job, what I write in the last, that we run in next year, because the same time gonna come after a year. So minimum we can set is for minute, maximum we can set for year. Okay, in the cron tab. Okay, so pretty simple guys, nothing very complex here. More syntax you can find like this on the document of the cron tab, but there's a whole and soul idea of the cron tab. Okay, so that was that was like code thing. So guys, these are the only topic left. Otherwise, we have done lots of detailed discussion on other topic from very basics to advanced. Okay, so as for the RSCSA perspective, we have covered lots more topic and more practices, use cases, a lot of practical, a lot of tips I have given you in my classes. All the video guys we have done in YouTube. So those who by chance miss other classes in YouTube ISC Rise, you can get the further topics. So if you also want to revise, you can revise the things. Finally, guys, I just want to conclude this training officially from the Linux world and from the ISC Rise. Okay, so there is the conclusion of RSCSA RSCSA training. But very important training track it is. A lot of demand in the market, especially in the global exam perspective. Also, highly recommend. Soon we will do an exam boot camp also. Those who register with the examiners. Okay, so where you guys will be prepared for the examiners. Okay, so that's all, guys, from my side. All the best for the further tracks, further future things, and future your career path. Okay, any quick queries, guys? If you have, you guys can ask. Manish, you can see anything about networking. We have a lot of networking classes we have done. Just go to those classes. We have seen, we explain a lot of things about networking there. Subham, for summer students, we are given lots of video classes. Okay, we have given a lot of video classes of RSCSA. Okay, so most lot of concepts we have already covered. So just contact to your respective group. They will provide you the link from where we have provided other classes. Okay. Vinay, *5 means every 5 minutes. So you run job every 5 minutes, you can run it. So Himanshu, we will give you particular videos name. Okay, that is only required for the exam preparation. Okay, for knowledge, obviously you can go for the all the videos, but only for exam preparation will provide you, tell you what only video you have to watch. Yes, Siraj, you can give a cron tab. If you're under a script, you can give the path of your best script. Okay, give a bash or Python. So where the script located, give the path, cron tab will go and run the script for you in the schedule way. Okay. So that's all, guys, for today. All the best. So obviously, we are concluding this training RSC. Take care. Bye.